What's good, bro? Here's why you don't have a girlfriend. I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there and I'm gonna tell you right now that it's probably not entirely your fault, but you still have to take responsibility, right? It's one of the number one core factors of a high achieving person is radical responsibility. Yeah, the dating marketplace might be fucked right now. Might be totally fucked. COVID inflated the value of women. Their self-perceived value is way up here. Even if you're looking at an average girl, she looks at herself like she's like this. And what did she do to get there? You know, a lot of these beautiful women, they're insecure as fuck because everybody praises them, puts them on a pedestal when they haven't even done shit in their lives. You know how much self-work I've had to put in? And you know what you know how much you're gonna have to put in? So that's part of it, right? Is that you don't have control over how much these women value themselves. But I had an insight and I realized that what goes up must come down. You've heard that before, right? So even if all of these girls look at themselves and they're like, I'm hot shit, eventually they're gonna come back to reality. It always happens. When money gets inflated, it eventually comes back down. So what cannot be cured must be endured. You just have to be resilient through this difficult time. I know within the next 5, 10 years, women aren't going to look at themselves the same way that they do right now. Reality is going to hit. So that's the first thing, right? That's your disclaimer. But the second thing is, what the fuck have you done with your life? What have you done that would make you worthy of dating somebody? Look at yourself, ask yourself this. Would you fuck yourself? Would you be in a committed relationship with yourself? As the flawed individual that you are, as the individual that doesn't reflect, instead he projects, as the individual who doesn't focus on his mental health, as the individual that has no routine, as the individual that smokes weed, as the individual that plays video games, what have you done to deserve this relationship? I don't know. I remember when I was 21, actually it was in 2020, was actually some of the time when I had the most success with women. And it really didn't make much sense at all because I was the skinniest I've ever been, probably. I had the worst habits that I've ever had. But there was a certain part of me that I think the girls liked, and that was that I didn't give a fuck. I did not give a fuck. And to be honest with you, that always works. That always plays well. I didn't really care too much about my life. And so if these girls were texting me, a lot of times when it was in 2020, I had the ability to just like be like, fuck that. I'm just gonna ignore this girl. And I would. I would literally be like, you know what? I don't feel like talking to her. I'm just gonna go back on the dating market and she can kick rocks. And then next thing I know, the girl's texting me. She's like, oh, I haven't seen you in so long. I'm like, what the fuck? I literally just like kicked her to the side and now she wants my attention. You're giving them way too much attention. And that's one of your problems. So what I realize is this, you don't need to chase them at all. And I know it seems counterintuitive, but what you need to do is just focus on yourself. Focus on getting yourself to be in the position where you are undeniable. You cannot be denied. Because at this point, you're making 6 figures. You started to build your physique. You're working hard on yourself. Everybody knows that you either have potential, you're going somewhere, or you're going to be somewhere soon. People look at you and you have a different energy about yourself. Because now you're carrying yourself like the type of man that you're going to become. And people can sense that in you. People can sense that now you walk with your chest out and your shoulders back. Now you don't slouch. Now you don't play video games. Now you don't watch porn. And now you look at yourself and you have a positive mentality and people can feel your positive energy and it radiates. And so you even look around and you see people that now compared to before are looking at you a little bit different. Like maybe they're attracted to you or something, and you hold eye contact with them, and you look back and you're like, how did I even get to this point? You developed yourself into the type of individual that will not be denied. And how did you do that? Through your daily actions, daily steps, building the physique, building the mindset, building the income, and building the relationships. So instead of focusing on women, instead of focusing on why you don't have a girlfriend, focus on yourself. There is multiple rewards for a disciplined effort. Jim Rohn says every disciplined act has a multiple reward. Focus on getting disciplined. Focus on doing what you're going to do and saying what you're going to do and being consistent with your actions. Peace.